one. Hello, my beautiful people. You guys already know who it is. It's your lovely, awesome partner, DJ Clemens. What is up, you guys? Today, I am doing a lovely interview with the one and only Mr. Keith Nweze. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing today, sister?
Doing blessed. Can't stress because you about to get in the water, bro.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me.
Yes.
I really respect and appreciate the platform you're creating. It provides us authors and us up and coming Black businesses a platform to talk about our journey and express our desires to make it. So I definitely salute and want to thank you.
Thank you. You guys, so definitely I want to give you a little snap of how I got to meet Mr. Keith. Not too long ago, I was interning at Above Art Studios, and they have a lot of events at that area, and happened to be that he came into my presence and we actually got to talk before he, practiced into the, the men's empowerment program group at the event. And I got to speak with you and we got to connect, especially number one on James Baldwin. Me and him, if you ever want to know anything about James Baldwin, I think me and him can tell you clearly from up to down, around about that guy because we're huge, big, crazy fans. But overall, it was just a really amazing experience from just the moment he just interacted with me, and he was just I think you pretty much saw a good portion than I could see in myself, because you were really embracing and very empowering from the moment we met. And I was like, what? Me? I don't know about all that, man. But it was just something about your whole aura, your whole soul, your just whole talents too that just really intrigued me to keep on wanting to interact with you. So I had to get up. I had to hit up my favorite, number one guy in the world, especially because I'm so excited about talking about who you are. And I mean, I could keep on rambling, but the number one question I know everybody's asking me and asking you, who the heck are you? So definitely tell us who it is, Keith Nweze.
Right. Well, first and foremost, I'm a Black man. I'm a father. I'm an author who happens to write poetry. Someone who deeply cares about my people, our people. I care about our advancement. I care about where we come from. I care about awareness. I'm a man. I'm a program monitor by day, bouncer by night, poet, author, 24/7, former basketball player, father, stepfather, boyfriend, friend, comrade. I'm whatever the title fits for the moment. But most, I just like to be a positive light to my brothers and sisters, to all people, but specifically and especially my brothers and sisters.
Yes, there we go. And I know one thing about you: you're very embracive of identity, especially deep in depth of all your books and series. And tell us a little bit more how you began to really find and define your identity in pretty much in American society, especially.
I'm still shaping it as we speak. I was blessed enough that I was born to a beautiful African-American woman, my mother, Miss Cecile Middleton, and a very beautiful, articulate and talented Nigerian father, Ike Nweze. My life has taken me through a lot of different, a long journey, a lot of ups and downs, so to say. But I'm constantly finding myself. Self-awareness is the platform that I like to preach on, and I definitely like to talk on the most, because I believe throughout our history, awareness of who we truly are has been systematically cut out of our lives and our mentality, whether it be the education system, stereotypes we see on TV, just the images and the names that we were called, and how we had to flip and bounce them into something positive. Yeah. So I'm someone who believes that we are naturally kings and queens. I'm someone who believes that we were studied for thousands of years by a humble and oppressor. And these 400 years that we know to be aren't really who we are.
Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to go a little bit depths of your roots and such, because I know you really, really go in the grasp of pretty much being a man and being a Black man in American society is really predominant into a lot of your stories and books and poems, especially. And what's really fascinating about you too is how you grasp your inspiration and your motivation throughout the whole stories. Can you give us a little bit more, an intellect of how you grasp the inspiration and motivation to keep on going forward into all your writings and pieces?
Well, I'm fortunate enough that I identify my blessings. The Most High gave me the ability to express myself, rather written or verbally. I believe that we all are blessed with talents and skill sets. And our duty as we are here on earth to identify them and to maximize them to our fullest potential. Me personally, I'm a child of hip hop. I'm a child born and raised by Nasir Jones. I share the same birthday as Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
And, God bless the king. I grew up in a time where lyrics were really digested and deciphered and broke down. And within that process of trying to understand my influences, I developed my own poetic style. I developed my own rhythmic style. And as I got out in the world and I experienced things and I developed thoughts, I developed opinions, I developed insights, I felt that it was my duty to kind of share those with the people who might relate to them or might be looking for the answers that they don't find in our social media, our media platform. So my motivation is always to bring a level of awareness, to ignite conversation, unify people, to hopefully inspire people to see the best in themselves. And once again, always is to remind us daily, weekly, or from every book release I have that we are kings and queens.
Yes, there we go. And I have practically two ebooks, but one of the books I want to get into detail of is the Black Collection Volume 1, which is really, really awesome. And because I like how you actually definitely went into depths about hip hop. This one is definitely a really, really fun and creative one. You have it where you show, first of all, amazing quotes. And it's Tupac at that. That's how you just begin it. And then when you go into it, just with the table of content, you have side A and side B. Now, I know I was born in 1998. But I don't know about side A and side B. And it's really cool because you make the whole book into almost like a mixtape with all your poems. And then what's really beautiful and helpful to the reader, I'm just going to skip to a couple, but just to show people he has really amazing imagery to actually go right along with his imagery. And it's just so beautiful how you like really capture not just the words, but also the visual aspect into your poems that really relates to each and every single one of them. Can you tell us in detail why pictures are very important in a volume to your poem?
Absolutely. Now, I'm glad you asked that question. For the first 22 years of my life, I was a non-reader. I was somebody who understood words, who knew how to read, but didn't really develop the comprehension part of reading. So reading wasn't as fun, wasn't as adventurous as it can be. So, but I was raised by my mom to have books and to have some level of appreciation for the books. So when I was young, I would always pick out the books that had pictures, books that can kind of bridge that gap or whatever I wasn't grasping within the literature or the content. When I published my first book, Raw Thoughts of a Wise Dumb Man, in 2009, and I started to go out into the circuit and sell my books, I would just observe different individuals as they come up to my booth and look at the actual book. and I would look at them, observe the cover. I would see them flip around to the middle. They wouldn't necessarily read things, but they were just checking out the aesthetics of the project. And that observation, I just decided that I'm going to incorporate pictures into my book to kind of bridge that gap of interpretation, but also to give a visual component to what it is I'm trying to express poetically. With the Black collection, that came about unplanned. It came about real spur of the moment. But the name kind of grasped me. I wanted to write something, a collection of poetry that was themed behind Black culture, and I wanted to utilize my 3 teaching tools. And as I said earlier, my first teaching tool was hip hop. Absolutely. So volume 1 is loosely themed around hip hop culture. I put it in a cassette tape. I was born in '81. So for the first 10 to 12 years of my life, I was, experiencing tapes popping and dubbing and the whole phenomenon of cassette tapes.
So I know. I mean, you bring us back.
Yeah, absolutely. To pay homage to the ones that came before me, to give a cool history lessons to the ones who were birthed after me, and to connect it all. Understanding that history plays a big role into our present and our future. So have a grasp of where we came from, or who came before us, and what groundwork or what was laid down before us. We won't know or have a foundation of where we can go.
Yeah, it's just very breathtaking when I get to see, especially the Black collection. My personal number one fave, especially from your book, and I have to point that one out. It's Dab When You Know. I was here, but I have to say Dab When You Know, because for me, I feel like now I'm talking to all people, some form and fashion about dab. And I love this one because it's almost as if like raise your hand, but in a sense it's a little bit different. It's just dab, because my favorite part of it is when you say dab when the boycotts are through and Beyonce's money is still supporting Black activists. Wait, you give us that moment of, wait a second, where you going with this? And then you next say, dab when they acknowledge the truth, the media is funded by racists.
Absolutely.
And so it's really, really you have this way of metaphorically, but also bringing image to what we're actually starting to agree with. I would love for you to go into depths on that one, especially. I'm very curious personally. I'm really curious. What made you want to write in that style, in that piece particularly? I know I only said a few lines, but it was just those struck for me.
No, well, number one, thank you, and I appreciate that. I'm very humbled by your compliment. The poem was inspired. I was watching Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, and they were talking about Cam Newton's celebrations in the end zone, and Skip was trying to kind of belittle him for dancing and dabbing in the end zone, and that's what kind of just initially sparked it. And while I was writing it, I was listening to Beyonce's Lemonade. I think this book came out in 2000, and I was writing in 2016, came out in 2017. So I was in that vein. I also understood the connection Jay-Z had, and I kind of wanted to connect the dab celebration and us being free and us being jovial and us dance moves, but also understanding how the media exploits us, how the media switches our stories and puts us against one another and belittles us.
Yeah,
and can't make money off of us. So the Beyonce part specifically was more the influence she had when she came out with her record, especially the one shot in New Orleans, and she was very, very militant. And I was just kind of calling her to keep that energy, even though she probably is. I want to be fair to her. I have no idea what she does behind the scene. But publicly, I just wanted to say, even when your money come through, it's work that needs to be done. and it's cool to dance and to celebrate, but we got to make sure that, messages are being passed, and,
That's true.
resources are being given to the ones who desperately need it. And
Yeah.
I kind of wanted, that's why the next line kind of talks about, it wasn't Beyonce, but it was the media taking advantage of the media,
Yeah.
exploiting our culture, for their own good, and not really understanding who we are, nor appreciating who we are.
Yes. Because me and you, we talked about this even personally, how we see where media will love to embrace the musical and the hip hop and R&B and all that side, but don't want to really do the same and equally when it comes to injustice and crimes due to our culture. And it's a different perspective, different.
It's in there. Media loves Black culture, but hates Black people.
Hating Black people. And then I would love for you to define that. Give us a little bit more intake of your perception of how people, love to embrace one side of the culture, but not fully. Give us a little bit more into that.
Well, I believe it's empowerment. I believe if they acknowledge us fully, then they go back to the humble times when they were studying us.
Mm-hmm.
When they were studying us building civilization, when they were studying us with navigation systems and algebra and the poetry that I write now, when they got lost on sea, just looking for any type of food and resources, and they stumbled upon Africa that has all the resources in the world. So once you start acknowledging Black culture, that will motivate, especially media, which has high influence, that will motivate kids and people to research who they are, and they will start to develop a sense of pride. And once you develop a sense of pride in the culture and the group, then you can no longer be controlled by media or by the oppressor. You'll start to identify with your African lineage. You'll start to appreciate your standing in America. So I believe media's main job is to, especially for Black culture, Black men and women, is to heighten a stereotype that they already laid down, while at the same time keeping our eyes blind to who we are and what we truly were. If they can give as much negative images as possible. If they can limit Beyonce just to a performer, or Tupac just to a rapper, then that's the angle going to go, because they don't want to let you know how educated Tupac was or how given Beyonce truly is on her day to day. And that extends past it. I mean, we're so rooted in it, and it kind of enforces the divide and conquer. They use it because even within that, it splinters us.
Yes.
People like myself that are in a righteous stance and want us to have all this awareness, and you have other people, maybe not like yourself, or some people like that just want to have fun and just want to live life, and that can be divisive, and that can have a splinter. And they understand is if you can splinter us as much as possible, then each splinter we get weaker and weaker and weaker, and we don't have the strength or the unified mentality to come really challenge the oppressor. So it's something going on. That's why I'm using your platform to not only talk about what I do, but talk about where we're at, to frame Black Lives Matter, to get folk to the November 3rd election, to understand that even after November 3rd, that your local elections are probably more important. I mean, I get to get the Donald Trump out of there, but we got to understand what our councilmen, what our mayors, what our senators, what they doing, because these are things that touch and affect you on a daily.
True.
And if you have a unified voice, like a lot of other communities, I'm close to Jewish communities and Italian communities. If things go wrong in the communities, they unify, they come together collectively, and they speak as one. And 8 times out of 10, they get something done.
Exactly. And that's pretty much what I really love about you too, Keith, is that you show that not only through, once again, your writing, but also through your lifestyle. You're a man of an empowerment. You're a man of unifying one another, regardless. Because I notice commonly with you, you see us as, you are no different from me, because at the end of the day, you're Black.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the one. I mean, that's what made me even become like just great friends with you, because you look at it, hey, you are a black being in
Yep.
this society.
Let me ask you, it don't matter, tall, short, smart, dumb, gay, straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the system, out the system. I understand the challenges that were faced from birth, and those are challenges that only us can really understand. And I need to, even when I'm around you for a couple seconds, I need to know that you're my brother or you're my sister. And that's why I always greet people, peace, king, peace, queen. You know, this is, peace. You know, I learned that in my other occupation as being a bouncer for 14 years. You disarm people's insecurities or disarm people's rage, disarm people's lack of trust, when the first thing they see after they see my eyes is peace.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's just something I just wanted to add, that yes, that's definitely how I try to live my life.
There we go. And then, did you want to share one more from the book of collections? I know that was my favorite one. I don't want to go all in my favorites, but would you like to show like at least one of your?
Yeah. I mean, with me, I love them all.
Yeah. You love them all. You written them all.
No. I mean, but they all have value. For what I just said, I no longer wait for a king. My raging heart not only waits for him. He's my Zulu, my warrior spirit, my conquering Hannibal. He treats me like Queen Sheba, like goddess of Africa, like nature's purest emblem, describing and taking my beauty from ancient Venus to the mythical Helen. Clothed in the smoothest skin and the finest linen, for him I patiently wait in heat, with my soul at ease undressed. Sweet king of life, evergreen land, a placid blue sea. Please understand, king, I love you.
Oh.
And I did that. That was from a woman's perspective. But as you see, she's referencing a lot of our African heroes, a lot of our roots. And she's reminding her king that she loves him. Something that I believe that we should remind each other, especially dealing with what we deal with on the daily. You can kind of forget that, but I even tell you I love you, and everyone that's out there, I love y'all too.
Because here we go. I wanted to show them again. Here we go. Because it is important for us to remind each other and to empower each other, and once again embrace each other in all forms.
Absolutely.
Because I notice another thing too, what we all have commonly is that we tend to forget our worth, or we tend to forget our beauty. And we have this world of American beauty, and I'm beyond that.
We're conditioned to forget.
We're conditioned to believe in this one standard, and we're beyond that. Let me put that out here. We're beyond that, okay? You're beautiful in all forms. And what really strikes me, especially in this one, is that he treats me like Queen Sheba, like the goddess of Africa, like nature's purest Ami. And I'm like, what? Now, if somebody calling me Queen,
yeah, you are. And there's a way that you need to be treated.
Yes.
It's a way that I need to acknowledge you. Just on the flip side, there's a way that I need to be acknowledged as a man.
Yeah.
And I believe, especially in 2020, that we can find that, and we can hold on to that, and we can cultivate that, and just to a way of life, a way of thinking. I think we as a people will be better off for it.
And it takes me, you, and people who have this artistic skill to really push it out, because our job is not only just to use our skills, it's also to teach our skill and pass it on to our generations. Which I want to get in the graphs about your latest and new book that's going to be coming out the end of October.
Yes.
This one really, really strikes a huge difference in my eyes too. I definitely took I'll be honest with you, I didn't really get to finish much, but I did get to go into a
I gave it to you a couple of days
Yeah,
ago.
you gave it to me a couple of days ago, so I'm trying to catch up. But through my little catch up, struggle. Oh my gosh. The new and the fifth book to your collection, Struggle, is so fascinating. Listen, if I say it, it's gonna be a struggle for me to even just finish it, okay? But I just enjoy the graphs and the process and the journey of how you went into this book. I want to show everybody. Keith Nweze, Struggle. Definitely, he is accepting some pre-orders. If you want some, you could get it. I already got mine, as you can see. But definitely, please get us into the journey of how you started and what made you want to write the book Struggle.
Do I have time? Because
no,
yeah,
you got time. You got time. You good. You good.
Yeah, I started struggling in 2013, 14. I just got fired from my full-time position at Dife, and I was kind of trying to figure out the next move. And I was going through real life struggle. This book, in every sense of the word, has been that. This is a conceptual book, a period piece that I try that I confined. That I put 2013 and 2019, and this is a moving target. Every time that I thought I'm getting somewhere, more things in my life was happening. Events, big events. By far, this is my most personal work, my most honest work. I felt like the only way that someone will be able to read, gain something, even have a level of entertainment, if I was being extremely honest. And it's something that I'm a big student and fan of The Wire.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a student and a fan of The Wire. And this book was inspired by David Simon. It was inspired by his synopsis of Baltimore. Why the show The Wire is a study of institutions. It's a study on how institutions affect us.
Yes.
Study of cause and effect. So I broke my book down into 4 chapters. The first chapter is the strip club institution.
Yes.
The second chapter is the social service, Dife institution. Third chapter is the institution we all try to create, and that's our home. The last one is our mentality. So for me, essentially, the irony of I was working in a renowned strip club called Jersey Girls, which is located in Elizabeth, New Jersey, while simultaneously working for the Virginia East Dife is now DCPP office in Elizabeth. And ironically, it's been many times where I might see someone at night in the same atmosphere and then see them again at 11 o'clock visiting their kids.
Yeah.
And that juxtaposition kind of motivated me just to write on that. Okay. I mess around and get fired from my position in my life. This spirals. And I just made a decision to capture it and to be honest. And then recently, my greatest gift and my most biggest prize has left my life.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to write this book for him. I had to let him know that his father loves him and that I'm working internally to get back what we had for the first 11 years of his life. So the book is very personal. It deals with struggle. Yes, visual as well. So once again, and then what makes it unique, and I'm not gonna blow my own horn, but what makes it unique is this is the first of its kind, or maybe one of the first of its kind. Meaning this is a poetry book with running detailed narratives.
Exactly.
And you kind of, for my non-poetry readers, especially the ones that I meet at my vending events and so on and so forth, I have something for you. Yeah, that's my man too, right there. That's my young scholar right here. Me and him collaborated on things here, and he's definitely a heavy hand actually. So yep, me and him graduated from NJCU. So yeah, it's running narrative. So it plays where you can read the story, but then the poetry adds an emotional component.
Yeah.
It adds a different perspective. It adds a little yang, and then it has a little small, minute things that I didn't get into the narratives, find its way into the poetry. So, for example, if I'm talking about Jersey Girls experience, I'm talking about the beautiful women that I had to protect every night. You know, we go into how and why they became dancers. We go into how and why they drink or they pop pills, or we go on how and why they work at night and work another job while going to school. You know, it was a very human book. I write it on a very human level because I believe all of us, no matter rich, poor, happy, sad, we all go through struggle.
Exactly.
It's about what you do to overcome it.
And it just brightens me because you get us into a different lens and a different perspective of what everybody portrays a lot of these situations, from just any form, from trying to survive every day of paying our own bills or nourish even our own bodies, to even our own internal self-esteem. You go to a self-realization with a lot of the situations and issues that media or government misperceive. And which really is just brightens it is that you kind of deconstruct it. You kind of break it down in all levels, from a short story to an actual image to even imaging and bringing visualization to your own experience, right along with the people you do, collab and do these experiences with. It's just really fascinating because you get real, you get raw. And that's one thing I love about Raw Thoughts LLC Company. It's just that you get raw and real with every single inch of it. What was it like just really getting the grasp of this project, especially due to, it being this raw? Like, how did you emotionally really collect yourself into this?
Yeah, I'm done. I still am trying to collect myself. I'm actually thankful that it's finally here and I don't have to do anything artistically. But the book was very therapeutic while simultaneously being traumatizing, because some of the stuff I'm talking about is in the past, and people like to kind of move forward. And in order for me to really capture the emotion of the subjects that I'm trying to convey, I had to kind of go back in the future, go back in the past, pardon me, and really relive those things emotionally. And you had to really look at yourself. Tupac trained me to be a full, complete man. I'm a Gemini. A lot of people feel like that's yin and yang and two-face and all that. I know what that means.
My mom's a Gemini, so
no.
It's all good.
when it comes to conveying tough emotion, when it comes to courage, and when it comes to those things, nobody's better. When you look at your favorite artists, most of them tend to be that. And I wanted to be open and honest. I wanted to put myself out there. I wanted to put myself out for questioning. And that's why I put questions in the back. Like, I don't want to come out the hero in this. What I was taught is my job to just show the problem, not to necessarily solve it. And in some of the instances, definitely within this book, I am the problem. Decision making, impulse, a lot of things that I can finger point. But I believe if I was honest with myself and then had enough courage to publish it and share it with other people, then people will start being honest with themselves. And you'll start seeing individuals heal, you'll start seeing households heal, and then back to the premise of what we're talking about, we'll see a people heal. So I wanted to share my internal struggle. I wanted to write in a way to where it was universal, to where people can pull messages out from it. But at the same time, this is an autobiography.
Yes, and it's just, and I'm a personal witness of your whole journey. Like, well, a good portion of your journey. I was actually not too long ago talking to Elliot Yes, I did talk to him, and he
Oh
was.
man, let me shout this up, man.
Yes, you gotta shout him out
Shame,
because
that's one of the illest spoken word
yes,
performers in North Jersey. I
yes,
got
yes.
thousands.
And
Yeah,
he
that
definitely,
look too.
yeah,
Anyone ready? My man got you.
he was definitely saying how he was saying straight up. He said 11 years. That is my brother. Said 11 years he like interacts with you, works with you, just experience just time with you. And he said no different from me. Like a lot of the moment I say Keith, that's what is every guy or everyone. Oh yeah, I know that dude because he did this. He told me this. He embraced me in this. I'm like, dang, he changing the whole block. Like, you know. And I think,
me. We change each other.
yeah, we change each other.
Yep.
And but it once again, it starts with ourselves and then it goes and it passes on to many folks. And this is where I ask my beautiful last question. You know, how do you, Mr. Keith Nweze, change the world with your words, with your lifestyle, but most importantly, just you being you? How do you change the world?
Well, I believe that we're old dogs. So the way I can really change the world is giving my kids love and time, giving them a foundation, and giving them appreciation of who they are, and an obligation to wave that flag, not only for their kids and their families, but for anybody they come in contact with. For myself personally, I have to be open and honest. I have to challenge myself. Um, I have to keep coming out with books. I got to have dialogue. I have to connect with beautiful people like you. I have to work with people like you. I got to work with people that are not in front of the camera. We have to converse with one another. We have to get to know one another, and not just Black. We got to have honest conversations with all humans on their level, but we can't drop to their level. They got to elevate to ours, just like we have to elevate to theirs.
Exactly.
We have to be able to communicate, which means listening. And within that listening, you'll gain some understanding of who we are. Within that understanding, you'll gain appreciation and a respect for who we are and what we've been through. And I don't want to be cynical. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but like that beautiful shirt says, if I plant that seed, I believe it will grow soon. And it'll grow in somebody's lifetime, and we'll all be better for it. So my job is just to keep writing, keep observing, keep learning, keep being honest, keep making mistakes, keep learning from those mistakes, turn the losses into lessons, and help other people. I've been in the social service field. Actually, that's where I just came from. I deal with the homeless population.
Yeah.
So, people walk into my office with nothing. Nothing, and it's my job to find that strength and to put that on neon light, put that on neon while we try to get the weaknesses right. Because it's hard out here. So is this communication? I was blessed with an ability. It took me 23 years to identify that ability. So at 30, 39, I'm now seasoned. My right hand has been active for over 12 to 13 years. So I will confidently look into the screen and say that I'm a published poet with something.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, there you have it. It is the beautiful one and only King Keith Nweze. Yay!
Listen, much salute to you, to everything you're doing, everything you're about to do. Yeah, I'm serious. I want my painting that we spoke about. And for Black businesses and Black authors, I want to pay for my painting. Reason being, let me just throw this at you. Let's pay our artists, all right? Because we're doing life's work. But in order for you to get your materials, in order for me to publish my book, we need currency. All right, we need interaction. We need exchange. So I need one of those. I need y'all to check everything that you're doing, okay? And stay tuned, because the future's only going to get brighter and better.
Exactly. That's the truth. Look, I mean, he practically ended before I could even really end it. You just took over the
I love you. That's my way of saying that. to be in the moment. So it's like I'd rather give you your flowers while you're here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You always do. You always do. You give each other our flowers. I just truly appreciate you so much, Keith. I'm so thankful and grateful that we had the time to share. And I can't wait to do many, many more. I know for a fact we're gonna see each other again and again, and probably do another interview for. Hey, you never know, the next book.
June 2021. That's all I'm saying.
There it is. It's already manifested. So you guys will see him again.
Yep.
Definitely.
Be safe out there.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Once again, we're going to love one another. We're going to hug each other virtually safely. But most importantly, we're going to be awesome and peaceful and write our struggles together. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, it was Keith Nweze. By the way, you can follow him on his Instagram. Here we go. I'm going to show the Instagram real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Here is his Instagram. He got awesome website called rawthoughts.com. I'm going to show you in a few. He has all his books and peeps that he's been around. He's definitely coming up with some more stuff. He loves to give some more beautiful poems as well. Definitely is really fun and interactive too. And you get to really actually speak. And on top of that, you could talk to him and message him through there or even on his Facebook. His Facebook is Keith Nweze as well. And let me show the website real quick. I want to show that real quick of the website. So if you ever want to purchase, he is on Amazon as a matter of fact. He is also, this is his website, rawthoughts with a Z.com. You could definitely check it out right here. He got his shop. He'll show you all the beautiful buttons, which I still have my button.
Yeah, I gotta get some more.
He got a couple of other books as well that is in the listing. Once again, if you wanted the Black Collection, it's right here. You can purchase. And also soon you will be posting Struggle
Absolutely
on here too. But if you want to also like pre-order your book as well for the Book of Struggle, definitely you can hit him up, like I said, on the Instagram. You can hit him up on Facebook, or you can also hit him up right on, his website right there to contact him to get ready for the beautiful Book of Struggle.
Absolutely.
So once again, thank you.
October 30th. Thank you. Thank you to everyone out there. Support.
Yes.
I can't wait to converse with you. Peace and love.
Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good one.